Look at what happens when military engineering meets civilian luxury in the Dongfeng M-Hero 917. While British motoring journalists consider a 600 horsepower supercar intimidating, the M-Hero 917 delivers a staggering 1,080 horsepower from a quad-motor electric architecture. Built by Dongfeng, a manufacturer with decades of experience supplying heavy tactical machinery to armed forces, the 917 was created when military engineers were given an unlimited budget to build an uncompromising civilian off-roader. It completely abandons modern soft-curve styling, presenting a towering sharp-edged steel silhouette stretching 5 meters long and over 2 meters wide. Where a standard luxury SUV struggles down narrow stone-walled British green lanes or tight multi-storey car parks in central London, the 917 uses active four-wheel steering to reduce its turning circle to just 5.1 metres, making it nimbler than a family hatchback like a Volkswagen Golf. On wet shale climbs or deep waterlogged mud trails in the Brecon Beacons in Wales, its independent wheel motors enable full diagonal crab walking, bypassing obstacles that would leave a traditional Defender high-centred on its axles. Instead of mechanical locking differentials that take vital seconds to engage, its onboard computers redistribute torque to each individual wheel in under 10 milliseconds. With a massive 142 kilowatt-hour battery delivering over 300 miles of range, 900 millimeters of water-wading depth, and heavy-duty steel skid plates, extreme terrain becomes effortless. Even the range extender hybrid variant, pairing an onboard turbo generator with 800 horsepower, delivers a level of relentless grunt that makes traditional V8 off-roaders feel thoroughly prehistoric. But how does a tactical vehicle turning tighter than a hatchback on a cramped English country road compare to the everyday usability of a mid-sized family 4x4? While we pull up the drivetrain telemetry on screen to examine how these individual electric motors eliminate thousands of moving mechanical parts, take a brief moment right now to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. The real disruption for everyday British motorists isn't just extreme military performance, it is how these machines systematically solve the daily frustrations European buyers have put up with for decades. Take the Chery Jetour T2. On paper, it competes directly with family 4x4s like the Land Rover Discovery Sport, but its execution reveals a level of common-sense engineering Western brands repeatedly ignore. Approach the vehicle on a pouring rain-soaked evening and electric proximity sensors automatically unlatch the doors before your hand touches the handle. Inside, the dashboard centers around a 15.6-inch screen powered by a high-end Qualcomm Snapdragon 8255 processor with 24 gigabytes of RAM, delivering a lightning-fast interface that makes the laggy touchscreens in £60,000 European crossovers look embarrassing. Crucially, Jetour's engineers deliberately rejected trendy flush-fitting pop-out door handles in favour of heavy-duty mechanical handles. While European manufacturers fitted flush handles across the UK and Scandinavia, only to watch them freeze solid during sub-zero Scottish mornings, Jetour prioritised absolute operational reliability in brutal winter climates. Practical touches continue at the rear, where a side-hinged tailgate includes a built-in fold-out workspace designed for outdoor camping gear, tea kettles or muddy walking boots, an item UK overland suppliers sell for thousands of pounds, included here as standard factory equipment. Mechanically, the flagship IDM plug-in hybrid pairs a 2-litre turbocharged engine with a 3-speed hybrid transmission and dual electric motors, producing 600 horsepower and 915 newton-meters of torque. You get 600 horsepower, intelligent all-wheel drive, and 220 millimeters of ground clearance for roughly £22,000 in export markets. backed by an unprecedented 10-year, 1 million kilometre warranty. When a manufacturer offers a warranty outlasting 3 consecutive British vehicle lease cycles, it signals absolute confidence in mechanical durability. While Jetour brings high-performance hybrid tech to family drivers, the BYD FangChengBao Leopard 8 takes off-road engineering straight into the realm of artificial intelligence. Positioned prominently above the Leopard 8's windscreen sits a high-definition Huawei LiDAR sensor pod, the exact same autonomous scanning hardware used by advanced self-driving cars. Mounted onto a heavy-duty ladder-frame chassis, this system creates a brilliant dual personality. During the working week, the LiDAR guides the vehicle autonomously through congested city traffic, navigating tricky British roundabouts, managing lane changes on the M25, and handling tight parallel parking effortlessly. On the weekend, that same laser sensor scans the contours of rocky trails, deep gravel, and rutted tracks in the Peak District milliseconds before the tyres touch the ground. That predictive scan feeds directly into BYD's DSUS-P hydraulic suspension system, which actively adjusts individual corners of the vehicle by up to 100 millimeters. By pre-adjusting damping rates and ride height before hitting an obstacle, the Leopard 8 maintains continuous tyre contact and body stability over terrain that would violently throw passengers around inside a rigid axle 4x4. Powering this setup is a 2-litre turbo engine paired with dual high-output electric motors, producing 739 horsepower. Despite weighing over 3.2 tons, it rockets from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 4.8 seconds, leaving a Land Cruiser far behind in the overtaking lane. Inside, all 6 or 7 seats feature heating, ventilation, and massage functions, while the center console houses a compressor-driven refrigerator that freezes food down to -6 degrees Celsius, all for roughly £39,000. For drivers who demand serious off-road capability wrapped in timeless visual sophistication, the ROX 01, developed alongside legendary Italian design house Pininfarina, presents a completely different philosophy. Instead of adopting an overly aggressive military aesthetic, Pininfarina crafted a clean slab-sided architecture featuring T-shaped LED light signatures that give the vehicle an unmistakable command on UK roads. Measuring over 5.2 metres long, the ROX 01 matches the footprint of a full-sized Range Rover while serving as an ultimate long-distance overlanding vehicle. Underneath sits an extended-range electric vehicle powertrain where a 1.5-litre turbocharged engine functions purely as an onboard generator, charging a high-density battery that drives dual electric motors. This system generates 470 horsepower and 740 newton-meters of torque. Because the petrol engine never directly drives the wheels, it operates at its absolute peak thermal efficiency of over 41%, allowing a full tank of fuel and a charged battery to yield a combined range of up to 690 miles. You can drive from central London all the way to John O'Groats without stopping once for fuel or electric charging. With unibody construction, 220 millimeters of ground clearance, a custom rear tailgate kitchen suite with an instant hot water dispenser for fresh tea in the rain, and a price tag starting around £33,000, it delivers Italian styling and continent-crossing endurance at a fraction of European luxury prices. At the summit of this engineering shift stands the BYD Yangwang U8, a machine that completely redefines what a civilian vehicle can accomplish. Standing taller than a Mercedes G-Wagon and stretching 5.4 metres long, the U8 makes an immediate statement, complete with a rear tailgate emblem crafted from genuine 24-carat gold. Beneath the luxury trim lies BYD's E4 individual wheel-drive platform, featuring 4 independent electric motors generating an astounding 1,180 horsepower and 1,280 newton-meters of torque. This 3.5-ton flagship accelerates from 0 to 62 miles per hour in just 3.5 seconds faster than a Porsche 911, while offering capabilities no Western manufacturer can replicate. Using its 4 independent motors, the U8 performs a complete zero-radius tank turn, spinning 360 degrees on the spot on dry tarmac or wet gravel. If a tyre suffers a high-speed blowout at 70 miles per hour on the M1 motorway, the onboard computer recalculates torque across the remaining 3 wheels within milliseconds, keeping the vehicle perfectly level and preventing a catastrophic crash. Most astonishingly, the Yangwang U8 features a fully sealed IP68 rated amphibious floating mode. If caught in severe flash flooding or deep river crossings, the vehicle automatically shuts off its engine intake, raises its hydraulic suspension to maximum height, closes all cabin vents, and uses its spinning wheels as propellers to float and steer through deep water for up to 30 minutes continuously. You can navigate across a swollen river, land safely on the opposite bank, and drive away on dry land without damaging the drivetrain or high-voltage electrical system. When you evaluate these 5 machines side by side, the underlying reality becomes impossible to ignore. Western carmakers spent decades leaning on brand heritage, aggressive finance deals, and minor cosmetic facelifts, while core mechanical innovation completely stalled. Meanwhile, Chinese manufacturers poured hundreds of billions into battery integration, software architecture, advanced electric motors, and efficient manufacturing. They built vehicles designed to operate in the world's most extreme environments, packed them with high-end luxury features, and priced them at levels main dealers cannot hope to match. The collapse of Western 4x4 dominance isn't about cheap labour or copied designs. It is a fundamental paradigm shift where software, independent torque vectoring, predictive active suspension, and extreme thermal management have permanently replaced badge prestige and dealer markup. Traditional brands spent 2 decades selling nostalgia, while Chinese engineers spent 2 decades building the future of all-terrain mobility. The shift in the global 4x4 market is no longer a future prediction. It is happening right now on UK roads and green lanes. If you want to see how these machines perform when pushed to their absolute limits in a head-to-head field test against the latest £200,000 Range Rover SV in deep Welsh peat bogs, click the video appearing on screen right now to keep watching.